Hello and welcome to the People's Orchestra and Show Choir podcast. I'm Matt Ward and as usual I'll be informing you about what's happening now and looking into the future to what's coming up for TPO and TPSC. This month I've got some great interviews with Nick Makwana, who was on last summer's Poland tour, Lorna Parkhouse, leader of the Shrewsbury Choir, and I'll hear from Bonnie Toner about the resurgence of the Cheltenham Choir. Before that though, February is the month of love and we are celebrating with our Come and Sing Community Choir Masterclass that's themed Disney in Love on February 15th at the Cheltenham Ladies College. You do not need to be a member or a lady or even female, all are welcome, so go now to thepeoplesorchestra.com and book your place. Let's kick off this month though with our new feature with Chris, which is the
The word of the month is diminuendo. It is a word used by composers to signal the progressive diminishing of the volume of a piece of music, melody, or single sound. The symbol for diminuendo is a hairpin, where the more the two lines converge, the less powerful the sound becomes. When the change in volume lasts for many bars, composers tend to replace the hairpin with the abbreviated word dim.
Thank you, Chris. Now, January is a quiet month for the People's Orchestra, so although everyone is back in rehearsals, it's a time to build for the future, but also a time for reflection. And what better way to introduce our new members to what's coming up than to share some stories from existing members of last summer's Poland tour. I'm here with Nick Makwana, who was on that tour. Nick is a professor of paediatrics at Sandwell and West Birmingham Hospitals and the University of Birmingham, and is a member of the Hales Owen Choir. Welcome. How are you?
All good. Yes, feeling good today. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Now, Nick, give us a quick outline of the itinerary of the tour.
So it was a full on, I have to say. We had 5 days there and it was a good mixture between getting to know each other, sightseeing, singing and eating great food. So we went to a number of squares within Poland. We were very lucky. We had a fantastic week of lovely warm weather. So we were outside. We sang three times, and each time was just very just uplifting, because I think weather, as I've already said. B, you're singing with a whole load of people who you've got to know over the 12 months you've been. I was there, and C, we were singing great songs. So, what's not to like? And then from a sightseeing point of view, we had some, great sort of a comedy sightseeing. I think our illustrious choir leader, Chris, took us on a tour around Krakow, where he guaranteed we wouldn't learn anything. And he was absolutely right. We didn't learn anything, but we had a lovely walk and got very healthy. One of the more poignant parts of the tour, we did a trip to Auschwitz, which was very emotional for a number of the choir members, but I think it was very worthwhile doing. Just it's an important part of history that I think we should never forget.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we had some fantastic food. We had a good laugh. We mixed in on different tables, got to know different people. So yeah, the itinerary was pretty full on, but actually a really good variety of things to do.
Sounds absolutely packed. What would you say was a standout moment of the tour that you will never forget?
Oh, I think that's a really difficult one, because there's so many. Firstly, it was just getting to know the members of the choir out of the choir. I think one of the things that you'll often find when you go to choir, you go in, you sit with your kind of group, you chat to the people around you, but you don't really get the opportunity to talk to others in the choir. I really enjoy that sort of conversation and getting to know people. The second thing I would probably say is the actual singing itself. Do you know what I mean? It was just fabulous, because obviously we've been so used to singing in our little rehearsals. So to be able to sing outside was just a completely different experience. And again, so uplifting, because being outdoors anyway is good for you. Combining being outdoors with singing, which is also massively good for you, just boosts your well-being completely. So that was amazing. And then the third thing I think I'd have to say is, on the very last outdoor concert we did, I was a bit naughty and I broke rules, and I left the choir and made the whole audience dance to our last song, which was Like a Prayer. and I wasn't sure how that would go, but actually they all loved it. If you see the videos on YouTube, they all joined in with the routines. The members of the choir joined in with the routines as well. So I think that was really just the icing on the cake for a fantastic week.
Fantastic. So I've seen a fundraiser of a 12-hour dance where you were raising money. So tell us about some of your other charity work and why you're so involved with all of that and TPSC as a charity.
And so for me, I think doing charity work is a really important part of giving back to, the community that I live in. So I think one of the things I enjoy dancing. I'm not a professional by any means, but I thought actually it'd be a really nice way to raise money by doing something a bit different. So I did a 12-hour dance-a-thon, and my plan was to sort of raise money for children in need, the hospital charity, which is for our paediatric unit, and for another charity that I'm part of called the Encephalitis Society. And so I touted the idea to our charity people who thought I was completely mad, but said, all right, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. They managed to get a lit up dance floor for me in the reception of the hospital, which was actually very odd. And it was great actually, because we started at 8, finished at 8 in the evening. My colleagues joined me. People walking past joined me. The hospital nursery came and did a little stint with me as well. And even patients came and sort of asked, what are you doing? And we sort of, said, oh, this is what's happening. And the patients came on and joined as well. And I think some patients were pretty confused because we've got a psychiatric hospital next door. So I think they thought they're coming to the wrong hospital as they waded through the reception, seeing a dancing doctor in the middle of it. But yeah, they all were like, egging me on, joining in. And actually, it was totally worth it because we raised actually just under £8,000. So about £2,000 for each charity. So that was amazing. So for me, one of the reasons I sort of ended up gravitating towards TPSC is when I was sort of looking for a choir to join. What I really like when I read about what they do, obviously they're a community choir, so they are a charity and they give back to the local community. They do very similar work, really. They are, helping young people with unemployment. They help with well-being. They help with loneliness, all which is a lot of the stuff I sort of work with as well. So I thought actually that would combine two things for me. One, I've never sung properly before. My first time I've sung was when I joined the choir. So I thought I want to do something different. But also I realised that by doing that, I'm helping a charity to give back to the communities that those choirs are in. Yeah. So it was a win-win for me.
That's great. And if you'd like the opportunity to give back to TPSC and to help out with all of the things that Nick was talking about, you can go over to the website now, thepeoplesorchestra.com, and hit the donate button and make a donation. Nick, thanks for taking the time today to stop dancing, stop training, and have some time where you can talk to us.
No problem at all.
Lorna Parkhouse is the choir leader of our Shrewsbury Choir, which is one of our largest choirs. And with January being one of the busiest times of year for our new members, it's only getting bigger. Isn't it, Lorna? Hi.
Hi. It certainly is, yes. We had about 18 new people last night, 16 of whom have signed up on week 2. So I think, that takes us up to about 76 so far, with a lovely influx of men last night after we've started learning It's Raining Men. So that was really nicely timed.
That's great. So outside of rehearsals and massed events, what else do you get the choir involved in?
My goodness. We perform locally all over the place. We've had local gigs, local bookings. We perform at the British Ironwork Museum regularly 2 or 3 times a year. They have us over doing sets. We have had sets at the Shrewsbury Pride, which is absolutely brilliant. We've done that each year. We've done fun runs. We've done hot air balloon festivals a couple of times. Things like VE Day. I think last summer I came together with a number of other choirs and organised a choir festival in a day. That was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, there's so many performance opportunities outside of the couple of massed events. It's huge.
I know this is a sad and sensitive subject, but I understand that your choir had a deeply meaningful task of performing at the celebration of life for one of your members who sadly passed away. How do you approach preparing for such an emotional occasion? And what did it mean to the choir to honour their memory in this way?
Yeah, I mean, it's an honour to be asked to perform at something like that. And she was one of our singers. She was absolutely lovely. It was such a tragic situation. And her husband died within a few weeks of each other. So when the family approached us, it's not even a question of saying no. It's how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? So I worked really closely with the daughter, who I'd not met kind of before then, although she had come to a couple of our local events actually, so she knew of us. She knew how much her mum valued the choir. And the daughter was really adamant that she wanted us to sing at the end of the celebration of life and to leave people going out with a smile. So we went through our repertoire and they picked Let's Go Fly a Kite, so which was a beautiful end to the service. And then I suppose the going about preparation, it was when I started working with the choir. I mean, our choir all wear our hearts on our sleeves. I wear my heart on my sleeve with the choir. And it was that message that it's normal to be really upset over this. It's not only okay, it's absolutely fine. It's normal. And if we are going to bawl our way through rehearsals while we're rehearsing it, that's fine. Let it out. That's what you're here for. You're here to process your emotion. And I said that to them about the event as well. I said, if you cry, just let it happen. It's absolutely fine. And they did such a beautiful, beautiful job. I can't even say. I mean, we've done so many huge gigs, and I think that was probably one of the moments I was the most proud of them.
Yeah. You collaborate with other choirs outside of TPSC too, don't you? How do you manage to do that successfully and positively so the focus is on promoting inclusivity, not tribal division?
Nice question. I think where I come from is, as a musician, I want to promote music. It's as simple as that. Singing is good for you on every single level, mentally, physically, socially. So there's room for every choir in the world and more, you know. We're all in the same business, and it doesn't matter whether you work for a large charity, a business model, whether you've got a small independent choir, it doesn't matter. We're all in the same business, and therefore we need to work together. It can be quite isolating otherwise. Working as a self-employed professional musician, you could get very lonely. It's quite an isolating thing, particularly if you approach things in a way that you're competing. So I never go in competing. Like I say, we're in the same business. You've got to work together.
Yeah. And then outside of singing, your choir socialises quite a bit together, don't they? What drives that? What keeps you all together?
Should I answer Prosecco? I know my choir will laugh when they hear that. A choir isn't just there for singing, is it? It's a family. It's another community inside your local community, and that's very much what the feel that we have at Shrewsbury. Right from the very first term, we've made sure that there was a social at the end of term and people went out for drinks. And then they've taken that on now. They organise themselves meals a couple of times a year, spa days, I mean, you name it. What I also love, actually, is that they go and support other performing arts things. So very often groups will get together and book themselves tickets. And yes, it might be sometimes for a touring national show, but actually they go and support the other local kind of groups, amateur theatre groups and things like that, which is, again, it's a really, really healthy environment.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like for your choir that the choir is actually their primary friendship group.
I would definitely say that, yes. There's some really strong bonds been made over the last less than 3 years, nearly 3 years.
Yeah. And for any new members who are thinking of joining TPSC, whether it be the Shrewsbury Choir or one of the other choirs, what would you say to them?
Well, definitely just come along, right? You've got to try it.
So the way you've described it, it sounds like you have a great group of people who have bonded, are servicing their own mental health, they're allowing themselves all of the emotions. There is sadness, but there's that joy that's driven by the joy of singing that is infused through the whole group. So it sounds like you're doing a great job down there.
Thank you.
And if you're not a member of TPSC yet and you would like to give it a try, go to the website, thepeoplesorchestra.com. In the top right-hand corner, you'll find a free trial button. You get 2 weeks free trial and find a choir that's local to you. Come down and give it a go. Lorna, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me today. It's been brilliant.
It's such a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Our Cheltenham Choir suffered a big loss when the long-standing choir leader stepped down to set up her own choir. Unfortunately, the majority of our choir members followed, leaving us with 4 people. We sprang into action and got a brand new choir leader and lots of advertising, and in the space of 3 weeks, regrew the choir to its former size. Today, I'm joined by Bonnie Toner, who's one of the original members who went through that ordeal. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Matt. Thank you for having me.
So, a phoenix resurgence with lots of opportunities for new voices. What's it like working with a new choir leader and accompanist?
I firmly believe that things happen for a reason, because the office sprang into action, found us our amazing Mark and James. Mark as choir leader is absolutely fabulous. James is brilliant. So to be honest, we feel really, really lucky.
Oh, fantastic. And so for how long were you concerned, or at what point did you start thinking, actually, this isn't the end, we're going to get back to normal?
The first week back is just to see how many of the old people turned up while we're gathering new people. So literally, when there were only 4 of us, and one lady actually came on the wrong day, not realising that she should have started the week after. So technically 3 of us. And then we were panicking. I got to admit, I'm thinking, well, what do we do? But literally, we went around advertising, leaflet dropping, advertising on all the local notice boards. And these proper week, the next week, I think we had 20, 22, 24 people. So basically, it went from 4 to a good amount. And I really think that's thanks to the office finding us leaders so quickly and all the advertising.
Oh, that's amazing. So how much fun are the rehearsals now?
Oh, my goodness. Honestly, I probably shouldn't say it, but it is better than it was, because I don't think Mark can mind me saying that he's quite bonkers. You find these school teachers who teach choirs, they're actually more fun, I think, because they used to teach children. And James, he's a really accomplished piano player, so we're really grateful for him. So literally, it's better than ever. And you just got to see everyone laughing, joking. I've never known such a choir who laugh and joke so much. It is absolutely amazing. Best choir I've ever been in. Brilliant.
So how many members have you got now?
I think, we had 17 new people just last week.
Wow.
That was literally thanks to the advertising. I'm not sure the amount. There must be well over 40 people, I should think, and the rest. But that's just 17 in 1 week. So the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, I bet you make quite a sound.
Well, I've got to say we do, yes.
Brilliant. So what would you say to anybody that was thinking about possibly joining the choir?
I'd say if you just want a laugh, fun, meet loads of new people, everybody is so friendly. They really are. They're so friendly. It's just fun. We do fun warm-ups. The teaching's excellent. I love the teaching style because you're not hanging around. It's bam, bam, bam. We learn a whole song, but we go over it. But it's just, the teaching's excellent. Really is.
And what are you looking forward to most in 2025, whether it be within Cheltenham or, a massed event?
We've already got things lined up, which is great. There's a massive event on the 30th of March at Symphony Hall in Birmingham,
yes,
which is a big mass choir. Then there's a local Disney sing-song on the 15th of February, which anybody can come along. We got the Food and Drink Festival booked.
Yeah.
And we have a Sue Rider, which is a hospice charity fete in March. There's possibly an invitation to sing there. That's already, it's only just started 2025, so I'm sure we get lots more events.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have the details of these at the end of the episode as well. Bonnie, thanks so much for taking time to talk to me today. It's been brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Coming up over the next couple of months, book your place at the Come and Sing Day at Cheltenham Ladies College on the 15th of February through our website, thepeoplesorchestra.com. You can also book tickets for Mother's Day, March 30th at Symphony Hall, for our massed event with 600 singers from our choirs around the country and the orchestra too. So come along, ticket sales support the charity. And remember, if you aren't yet a member of the choir but you would like to give it a go, you can try it out for 2 weeks free by going to our website, thepeoplesorchestra.com, and clicking on 2 weeks free. Thank you for listening to this episode of the People's Orchestra and Show Choir podcast. Tune in next month when I will be finding out how our Come and Sing Day in Cheltenham went. We will also be delving into the world of walking choirs led by Chris Webber. He will be telling us about the unique concept, how it has developed, and what is in store in the future. We will talk to Marion Harris, one of our vital frontline staff who works to get unemployed people back into work. And I'll also catch up with a volunteer member of the Ringers Choir to find out what that's all about. For anything else, check out the website thepeoplesorchestra.com and follow the People's Orchestra and the People's Show Choir social media channels. And if you would like to find out more about how I can help you with making a podcast for your organisation, take a look at my website, audioeditingsecrets.com, and follow my social media, which is at Audio Editing Secrets on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. I've been Matt Ward. Thank you for listening.